I'm joined by Yuka Royer from the business desk. Hi there, Yuka. Now, courting business leaders, candidates for France's snap elections have been defending their economic programmes at the employer association Medef. Tell us a bit more about this.
Well, Tom, after causing a lot of uncertainty over electoral promises, party representatives went to reassure France's business leaders. Stealing the spotlight at the event, though, was the far right, with the 28-year-old head of the National Rally standing shoulder to shoulder with the contested head of the conservative Républicain party. Camille Knight has more.
It's their first joint appearance. The National Rally's Jordan Bardella and the Republicans' contested leader Éric Ciotti pull up to the French Business Confederation's headquarters. They've come to reassure business owners that the far right has a strong economic agenda.
I've understood that coming here today, I needed to reassure you.
Bardella started by accusing the government of driving the country towards bankruptcy, while Ciotti pitched a pro-business stance.
I believe in economic freedom. I dare say I'm a liberal. Nothing will be possible if we don't drastically reduce public spending.
The National Rally's lack of clarity on things like a potential repeal of the pension reform has spooked a number of business owners.
These agendas are completely unbalanced from a budgetary perspective and will generate additional taxes on businesses, which will have a very negative impact.
The left's manifesto was also put under the microscope, Socialist MP Boris Vallaud calling on employers to show some solidarity.
Billionaires, raise your hands and I'll apologise for the effort I'm asking of you, for the solidarity and economic patriotism.
Meanwhile, the ruling party's finance minister Bruno Le Maire has issued a warning to voters.
I'm simply asking all business owners, and beyond that all employees and all French people, to look at the reality of action. Don't let yourself be fooled by nice words.
The hearing took place just 10 days ahead of the first round of the parliamentary elections. Medef chief Patrick Martin warning the agendas of both the National Rally and the New Popular Front are dangerous for the French economy.
OK, well, let's take a closer look now at some of the key campaign promises. Yuka, what have you got?
Well, eager to reassure the private sector, the National Rally is promising to reduce production taxes and to lower VAT on energy and fuel from 20% to 5.5% to help households. It also promises to waive employers' part of social charges for a 10% increase in salaries. But Jordan Bardella also says that he would launch an audit of public finances before deciding on how far and how fast to go with reforms. The left wants to hike minimum wage to €1,600 a month, freeze prices on essential items and repeal President Macron's unpopular reforms on pension and unemployment systems. And Ensemble, the parliamentary group led by President Macron's party, has also proposed lowering electricity bills from next winter and increasing the amount of a special annual bonus companies can give employees tax-free. Now, the think tank Institut Montaigne gave a price tag to some of those measures. For the ruling bloc, it calculates a proposed change to the tax-free bonus alone could cost €6.5 billion. As for the National Rally, its plan to make energy cheaper for consumers is projected to cost €11 billion. And the left's programme has the highest price tag, according to the Institute, with a planned freeze on energy and essential goods projected to cost €24 billion. And following the meeting, the president of Medef, the business group, was unconvinced, saying that the National Rally was still vague, particularly when it came to what it wants to do about the pension reform. He also sharply criticised the left's promise of raising the minimum wage by €200 a month.
There's one big thing missing from all these clever economic considerations, and that is that there is a market. So if you have French companies whose production costs go up because of the increase in the minimum wage, they're up against international competition. We know that France's wage competitiveness is not good at the moment, so it would deteriorate.
OK, that was the president of the French Employers Association, Medef. Now, all of this coming just the day after Brussels put France on notice for excessive government spending, Yuka.
Well, Tom, the European Commission on Wednesday told France and 6 other European member states that they could face disciplinary procedures if they can't rein in their deficit. France's budget shortfall stood at 5.5% of GDP last year and is expected to be about the same this year, while public debt is set to increase from over 110% of GDP last year.
OK, now French businesses are already feeling the impact of this the uncertainty that surrounds this election, aren't they?
Well, if you remember, the yield on France's 10-year bond, which is the interest to be paid when it matures, jumped after the European elections on June the 9th. And the borrowing cost for the state remains relatively high since then, even though it has calmed down a little bit. In the stock market, some of the largest listed French firms and banks have all seen their stocks decline over the past few days.
OK, some declines there, one bucking the trend I can see. But what's the market action been like today, Yuka?
European stocks finished the day higher today. They rebounded back. London up 0.8% after the Bank of England kept borrowing costs unchanged but opened the door for a possible interest rate cut in August. Paris and Frankfurt bounced back fairly strongly, as you can see. Wall Street is a mixed picture at the moment after a holiday. The S&P and the Nasdaq pulling back from Tuesday's record high finish that were led by technology shares. And that's it for business for now.
OK, thank you very much indeed, Yuka Roya. Thanks for giving us all the goings on from the world of business.